The new Superman movie is finally out, and the big question is it any good? Yes, it is. Let's talk about it today here in the Geek Corner. Hey there everybody, it's Rev Kev. Welcome back to the channel. So, my son, my wife, and a few of my friends got together last night to see James Gunn's Superman. And this is going to be just some initial thoughts about the movie. I got some spoiler conversations that I'm going to have in some other videos over the next few hours and even couple of days to unpack a few of the spoiler stuff. But this is going to be spoiler free. Now, first and foremost, I am not a professional movie reviewer. I'm just a guy who likes geeky things, who has been reading Superman comics since 1986. The very first Superman comic I ever bought was Superman Volume 2, Number 2 by John Byrne. And what drew me to that was I was just buying a big stack of comic books to bring on vacation to read out of literally like a cheap bin to get books. And I loved this cover of Lex Luthor figuring out with this big giant supercomputer the secret identity of Superman. And ever since that first issue that I picked up, I've been hooked, and I've been collecting Superman comic books ever since. Now, again, not a professional movie reviewer, but I like to think I know a little bit about Superman as a guy who now, 40 plus years later, has about 1,300 Superman comics in his collection. Now, the first thing that you got to remember going into a Superman movie is it's most likely not going to live up to the hype that you have about Superman. The reality is every single one of us has a different aspect that we like. There are certain, even in the comic books, there's certain writers that I feel did a better job of handling Superman. Not that the other ones did a really bad job, it just didn't resonate with me with what I liked from that character. And the same is true with this movie. You know, James Gunn is goofy and silly, and you kind of expect to see goofy and silly in a James Gunn movie. So if you don't want a goofy, silly, fun, lighthearted Superman movie, you're gonna hate this. You just are. Okay? I like a goofy, silly, fun Superman movie as long as it didn't break the character. Now, I don't feel that this movie broke the character. I feel that Superman, David Cornsweet's Superman, was excellent. Like, excellent. I've liked pretty much every single screen version of Superman because each actor has brought something different to the character. But Mr. Cornsweet brings something really good. It's light, it's friendly, it's fun. He's good. Like, he's a good guy. There isn't this streak of darkness in him. He's not conflicted. He's a good guy. Like, when other people accuse him of being a Boy Scout, he's a Boy Scout. Like, he does a great job of it. Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Lex Luthor, every other character in this movie I thought was perfectly cast, and each brought their own flair to characters that we've known for 80 years. Now, honestly, my favorite character in the movie was Krypto. I really, really liked Krypto. I appreciated that they took some of the silliness not directly into the Superman character, but made it more in Superman's interaction with Krypto. So that I really, really enjoyed. My only issue with it was there were a number of scenes in the movie where they were really hitting on some strong emotional beats, and I wish they would have just pushed those a little bit further. And then they throw in Krypto to lighten it up and bring in a silly kind of superhero comic book movie joke. Again, at one point in the movie, there's a scene, and again, no spoilers, and I'm actually starting to tear up, and then cut to Krypto being silly, and the tear just instantly dried up and went away. So I think they could have focused in a little bit more on those emotional beats to kind of drive in some of those feelings a little bit more. But that's a little bit of, just my thoughts on that. So all in all, I thought the movie was excellent. I thought it was fun. I thought it was lighthearted. And it's a great introduction to the Superman character to families. That's one of the things that I loved about this the most. The comic book industry is not doing so well. Okay, it's a mess, in fact. Now, a movie like this does a great job of introducing young readers to the character of Superman. In fact, in the Summer of Superman with DC Comics, they've been doing a really good job of introducing new ways to get into Superman, and I love that. I think that tie-in with this kind of a movie where the marketing is geared to kids, the toys, the Dairy Queen cups, the young reader books, all the things that are coming out. They're marketing this not to the 50-year-old Superman fan who wants some R-rated, dark and brooding Superman. No, they're marketing this to children, which I think is a great way then to introduce kids to the character of Superman, like in kind of this big, ginormous, giant-sized Superman that had just come out, or in Superman Unlimited, or any other comic book that's there. Really, really smart, I thought, to do that. And as a comic book guy and as a movie geek, I really liked that. I thought that was good. I think that's actually somewhere where Marvel missed out in so many ways with the MCU, is they just seem to keep dropping the ball when it comes to their comic books to tie into these really great movies that have been coming out. They just haven't been able to make the connection, but I think DC is starting to hit on that, which is great to see. So all in all, Superman, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I'm going back. I'm going to pick up a Baby Kaiju toy. I'm going to pick up a Crypto plushie. I'm going to get the popcorn buckets just to add to my Superman collection because it was fun and I enjoyed it. So now, that's my thoughts. Now I'd love to know your thoughts about this movie down in the comment section below. And as always, I really appreciate you being a part of the community here. It means a lot to me. All the proceeds I make from YouTube go to support kids in Guatemala through Compassion Canada. So until the next video, God bless.